Welcome to our podcast. It's been named one of the very best in marketing research, and we call it Research Business Daily Report. And it's made possible by the exclusive community at our crowdfunding platform, patreon.com/RBDR. I'm Bob Lederer for more than 25 years, the respected voice in market research. Today we reach a milestone of sorts, episode number 60 in RBDR's acclaimed 2020 series, Market Research in the COVID-19 era. Now today we take a somewhat different tact because we're going to have one of the industry's most important behind-the-scenes executives who shares details of his always busy schedule. When it comes to promoting and defending the interests and rights of the research industry, there is only one man that the industry really tends to turn to, especially when it comes to Washington, D.C. Howard Fienberg, certified association executive, has been extremely busy since the coronavirus began to dominate all our lives. And today Howard shares the litany of his efforts, some focused on the current crisis, but a lot of other interests that just won't wait. Howard?
Now, the COVID-19 crisis changed some of the focus of our association's advocacy, but not the overall goal, the advancement and prosperity of our members and the insights industry as a whole. So back in March, at the outset of the virus, we started jockeying in Washington, D.C. to secure financial support for our industry. That resulted in Congress and the administration crafting emergency small business loan programs in the CARES Act, particularly the Paycheck Protection Program. I'm proud to say that the PPP's forgivable loans helped to keep a bunch of our members from going out of business and a lot of insights professionals from being turned out onto the street. We also helped get Congress to extend more money to meet the surging demand for PPP loans. It took months to convince Congress to iron out some of the worst kinks in the PPP program, but we prevailed when that finally happened in June. The new law, for which we lobbied, extended the loan forgiveness period and provided loan recipients a lot more flexibility in getting their loans forgiven, which we believe is extra important given the unstable labor market. The act also lowered the required percentage of proceeds that must be spent on payroll to qualify for forgiveness, since labor is not the only cost our businesses face, and allowed companies to still benefit from deferred payroll tax payments. Sadly, our efforts to convince Congress and the U.S. Treasury to allow more insights firms that benefit from private equity or venture capital funding, even if only minority investment, from accessing PPP loans has not yet borne fruit. Affiliation rules still stand in the way. Further, during this COVID crisis, we've provided folks with extensive info on loan options and other funding possibilities, tax law changes, HR law changes, emergency updates to HIPAA and data privacy rules, emergency telephone calling restrictions, and the like. We're also keeping our members abreast of developments in antitrust policy, where some Democrat policymakers have been trying to ban mergers and acquisitions during the crisis. Thanks to a presidential executive order, we're now looking at immigration issues as well, and the ability of Insights Association members to obtain H-1B and L-1 visas for their skilled laborers. Getting Insights businesses open again has been a key goal for IA, not just funding to tide them over. First, we developed and shared guidelines to follow for marketing research and data analytics organizations who were reopening, and more specifically, guidelines for qualitative facilities. Our second step has been lobbying for limiting COVID-19 related liability for exposure. While most research facilities will want to implement liability waivers in some form, limitation in law is still going to be necessary. Now, we were pleased to see state laws passed in Utah and Oklahoma to provide a safe harbor from unwarranted COVID-19 related lawsuits for our well-intentioned member businesses that are making a reasonable effort to follow government and public health guidelines as they reopen and try to continue work during the coronavirus crisis. Most recently, we helped pass a similar law in Louisiana, and we've been lobbying for such limitations in Alabama, Minnesota, and in Congress. Now, there are several approaches in legislation in the U.S. House and Senate where the Senate Republicans are committed to including such limitations in a fourth big coronavirus funding bill, which is likely on the docket sometime in July. Of course, the insights industry's regular policy issues haven't gone away during the coronavirus crisis. We've been leading the charge for supplemental 2020 census funding since the decennial headcount went on temporary hiatus and has a huge challenge in completing a full and accurate count. The Insights Association is also supporting legislation to extend the 2020 census data reporting deadlines, since the Census Bureau needs more time to complete the count. Now, our push for comprehensive federal privacy legislation has continued, but we're focused more on promoting the essential elements of the model bill we developed with Privacy for America, as Congress toys with new COVID-19 privacy bills. The big problem, as ever, is that policymakers are trying to constrain how coronavirus tracing data is collected and handled, but are diving hard into broader privacy restrictions in the process that would inadvertently shut down a lot of research and analytics work. California, of course, is facing a similar problem at the moment. Our biggest concern in the Golden State is still the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. Bob, it has been great and important to update the RBDR audience about our ongoing and new activities in support of the industry at the Insights Association. Thanks very much.
A short reminder about our need for your single or multiple points of view in order for this video series to really max out. Now, collaborating with us does help us, and the video commentary that we will help you put together will certainly help you. So email your ideas and fillings to rflbob@gmail.com. Working with us is an enjoyable experience, according to many who have gone through it. And the video we create, remember I just said it's going to benefit you. Well, it's going to leave not only a smile on your face, but something that you can use promotionally, advertising-wise, or in some other way for your business. That's your Research Business Daily Report, made possible by the exclusive community at our crowdfunding platform, patreon.com/RBDR. We hope that you make it a habit to watch RBDR, and if you do, thank you. If you watch us once in a while, we thank you for that as well. And if you find that RBDR is time well spent, even just for an episode here or there, please recommend our video and send along that particular video to those among your friends and peers who could benefit. We hope you'll also consider becoming an RBDR Patreon supporter, which you can do at patreon.com/RBDR. Have a great research day, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here with us tomorrow.